Alright, good afternoon, everyone. Today, we'll start on the lifters, the rockers. I've got everything cleaned up in here. I use mineral spirits to clean all the rockers, pivot points, the nuts. Then I pull them off the air compressor and immediately WD-40 them down. So I'm gonna get started on putting these in. Gonna use my ultra slick lube. Basically, I'm just gonna put some of this on the shaft, that way the bottom of the rocker's not sitting on dry. These aren't going to be tightened down today. Well, I should say right away. Just going to get the rocker set in with the pivot ball. And put the nuts on. And then these are the pivots. Lube on that. I'm not worrying about wiping WD-40 off. It's not going to hurt anything. We just don't want these to be on here dry. I got to be careful on how much I put in, because being still kind of screwed on the oil pickup. The oil pan's not on, so anything draining out of the head through the block is basically going to end up on the floor. The other side sit. For reference, this part rides on top of the valve stem. Push rod goes into that hole. So that's how they get set. pivots. Pivots in, finish pivot, that's on. Handful. So started. And if anybody's wondering, it is 4th of July. Last night I could hear several towns, fireworks going off from several towns. Surprisingly, I was kind of surprised the cats weren't all freaking out and trying to hide from it. They were a little bothered, not too much though, but it wasn't bad. Alright, so I got all this WD-40 in my hands. Get that off. Alright, I'm just gonna run those down a little bit. Not much, but just enough to what size was 16. Just enough because there's only a couple threads hold them on, and I want to be able to lift it, slide it to the side when I put the push rods in. So I don't know how much you can actually, you can't really see too much over here on this side. I've got trying to use a little tripod that for some odd reason Marlboro sent me years ago. Thought it was kind of stupid, but it somewhat works. Alright, those set. It's like the pivots ain't down, but basically when the push rods are in, let me see if I can show you. When the push rods get put in, these won't be setting clear at the base. I just put the lube on there. That way it wasn't dry because of the rust, but I mean basically you can see the pivot down there. That's the shiny shiny spot on the nut is the black part. I guess you can kind of see it there, but that's what keeps it in line. Doing my best. I'm sure there's always haters out there. This is how they would do it, or this and that. This is basically how I've was somewhat taught and have always done top ends. This box out of the way. Let's take a look at lifters. There we go. Hey, here's the lifters. Now, I was always told to put the lifters, being these are roller lifters, put them back in the same spot they came out. So that's what I'm going to do. I actually had them laying in the box. Had a couple fall out. This is how I had them, left and right, basically sitting in there. Let's see if I can set the camera to a better position. And you set that back in there. I don't know how else is going to work up here. I'm afraid it's going to fall over. I get it figured out how to get the camera set so you can see what I'm doing. Then I'll come back. You know, I can't really find a place to set the camera, so I'm gonna have to try to do this stuff one-handed. So I'm gonna put lube on my rollers. And I've got stuff on my hands, so I can basically just turn my hand around. So beans, I got lube on the lifter, and of course the roller is going to go in. And let's see here. I don't know if you can actually see inside. There you go. You can see the holes, those ports. They're in each one. And basically, there's the hole right there for the lifter. So I'm basically going to install the hole toward that port. I mean, he goes through either side, but these have you know, this tray that goes over the lifter to keep them in place. So I'm just going to use the hole with the port to the left, just basically as my reference, so I know how they all got installed. See if you can see down inside there's a there you can see the roller and stuff making contact with it. You might say, well, why is that one sticking out farther than the other one? Well, this one is basically on the intake stroke, is basically why it's like that. I actually rotated this, that's why I took it back out, to make sure my reference for the hole was there. That's the only reason I took it back out. No, as I guess you could see too, gosh dang it, I hate this, but the oil port on these roller lifters, if you basically see, they're on the side. So basically, if I put that oil port to the left every time, then you know for sure that roller is correctly on. And there's two flat spots on the lifter, these flat spots there, and those go in that, so you know that can get screwed up. This one-handed camera thing isn't working so great for me. Trying to look to see what I'm doing, and it's not so easy looking through the camera to do it. I'm trying. Been easier if my daughter was helping me do these like she did my like she did the other videos. And she'd rather be inside watching stupid no nonsense YouTube videos. I've tried to get her to watch videos of stuff that she could learn something from, and she doesn't like that. She'd rather watch the stupid teeny bopper crap. Or I'm sure you've probably got kids that do the same thing. Alright, now we're going to set the rail on, and this is only going one way. If you look at how it is, the bolts are actually offset on this, and it's the same way with that bolt and that one there. One's forward, one's back. So in theory, if I got all these lined up, it should just slip right on. Yep, there it is. And it means I got oil in my hands. I can easily get oil on the threads. Now I think the torque spec for these was 144, which is kind of stupid. It'd be much simpler, instead of saying 144 inch-pounds, they can just say 12 foot-pounds. So I don't know, these overpaid engineers do some crazy stuff. I was looking at the camera down here at that head where that rust is. It looks like it's a crack, but that's actually where it like loops down and then comes out. So that's why it looked like that. It's like, what the hell? Because they really tested all these things and stuff. If I can get a better angle down in there. You can kind of see what I'm talking about. Yeah, there's absolutely nothing to be done about that rust. Straight water, crap water, I guess you could say, out of a lake. It's got all kinds of stuff in it. Yeah, it's gonna happen. So I'm gonna get these tightened down. I'm gonna do the other side, and then we'll come back. It's getting a little hard with one hand, so we shall return. Alright, so I'm back here for a second. I figured out why it's torquing these bolts down inch-pounds. The reason is you can just get a 1/4 inch torque wrench in there, and there is no way you could get a 1/2 or 3/8 torque wrench in there. So that's why it's inch-pounds. So I guess the engineers aren't so crazy after all, are they? Alright guys, and ladies, if there's any watching, got those in. The oil bleeder hole on these lifters are on this side, just like they was for this side. So that's why I stuck to that side of the motor. And now we're gonna do push rods, and I'm gonna try doing this with one hand. I'm just gonna carefully get these to lay in, get them out of the box. That way you can see. Alright, so that's why I left these loose, so that I could go through and drop them in. I'm just gonna dip the ends into the assembly lube that we had before. This is what I'm gonna do. Oops, wrong hole. And alright, there we go. And wouldn't you know it, I can't get them on. So I guess that was a wasted step. I can't lift this up and slide it on like I thought I could. So I guess we're just gonna put them in here, then I'm just gonna have to take it back loose. And like, this goes in there, and guide holes there. And I know being these have those guides in there for these because they're rollers, it does make it easier to, if the intake was on, if you had to replace a push rod for one reason or another, because basically if I just drop it in this hole and then you watch it come down, and it's easy to find where the hole is, and it goes right into it, no problem. I'm probably gonna call it quits after I get these set in, and I'm getting pretty hot here in the shed. Get fancy and do two at a time. And keep them to the left to get me drop. Get these other two out the back behind there. So the ends are all lubed up. These are our new push rods. See, it's almost the way this is designed with these ribs, it's almost if one of these actually somehow popped out. I guess it had to be a pretty bad situation. It would basically hit it and slip it back down in there. That's what it looks like to me, but it'd have to be one hell of a problem for a valve or whatever to do that. So I'm gonna call it quits. I'm pretty hot, sweating like crazy again, and like and share, help me out to get this stuff done. Doing the best I can with the videoing and stuff by myself. So I don't know, I may post this up by itself. I may wait, I'm not sure. Once I get the lifters adjusted, you know. Show you an easy way to do that I learned a while back from some guy. Makes it so much easier to adjust. So we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching.